Where's the guys who did the trick shot video? There we go, right? We got the trick shot video, so we're going to show that right now. Run that clip real quick. And this is what's funny, you guys know this a little bit. Alec Patterson, that shot he made, I don't know if you guys saw this, but Mr. Coos is standing in the back, and he's like, you guys are trying, if you throw that ball, Alec Patterson, you're gonna be in trouble or whatever. And he went ahead and chucked it and made it on that shot. He didn't get in trouble, right? Where's Patterson at? No, you did? Sorry, man. Was it worth it? Kind of? Alright, I don't know, whatever. We got one more. I'm really excited about this. I'm going to go ahead and invite the Beverly Sisters to come up. This is a song Camille wrote herself, and it is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to have them come up and sing.
Ready for this?
She
incredible. Not only are they incredible singers, but you know, Camille wrote that song. Like that's not just a, you know, a cover. And that's ridiculous. That's awesome. I have a feeling that we're hearing that in the hallway later. People be singing it. So, well, first, before we jump into this, I gotta say something. It's hilarious to me, and so, but let's talk about this for a second. At Nova, if you were there, you got to saw this. It's a video called "Stuff TC Says," right? Like, ridiculous. It's hilarious. And what's funny is the stuff, it's not an exaggeration. Like the things on that video are dead on. Like I know I've heard people say literally, you know, like 100 times here, but now I'm hearing, now it like annoys me because now it's like, oh my goodness, I hear it all the time. The other thing is the part with Craig, and Sam, will you just go ahead and run that? You guys, just so we're all on the same page with this, we got to see this real quick.
Hey dude, why is Craig leaving early? I think Tony's going to the doctor's appointment.
Hey Sydney, did you hear about Craig? I heard he's getting a root canal today.
Oh. Hey, why is Craig going home? I heard he cheated on a test, so he got sent home.
I heard Craig got suspended.
I heard he got expelled.
Dude, did you hear that Craig beat the crap out of BJ and he got kicked out?
Oh really? I just heard that he killed a man.
Okay. Alright, so here's what's fun. Like it's hilarious, but it's funny because it's true. Like that happens all the time. So here's what I got. We just got to talk about this real quick. Because here's what happened after. Is Doug here today? Doug is not here today. All right. Well, you know, Doug, but they tried to go a little crazy. Things got a little crazy at Nova, right? Which it happens. And they decided to crowd surf Doug. He went up and went right back down, and got hurt. Matter of fact, he got pretty seriously hurt. But he's okay. He's back. And so like immediately after we kind of cleared out because that's what you just need to do. That would have been really weird, awkward to like start things back up again. Like we're just gonna get to the hospital now. Let's party. Like you just don't go about it that way, right? Just really strange. So we called it. It was almost. I mean, we were 3/4 of the way through the acts and everything. The only act that you guys haven't seen yet, which you will see later, is Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. But we'll bring that back after spring break if they're willing to do that. But immediately, like after everybody kind of cleared out, I started hearing from a few students, that Doug was gone already, but they're like, "Oh, did you hear? Like Doug broke his arm." I was like, "No, I heard he broke his leg." Like, "Oh no, he got knocked out for like 5 minutes." And I'm like, "What happened?" And then I talked to my brother-in-law over the weekend. He goes, "What happened at Nova?" And I was like, "Well, things got out of hand. Somebody got hurt. It's okay." But I was like, "No, I heard at church that like you shut everything down because people were getting drunk at Nova." And like that's just the tip of the iceberg. I can't even tell you some of the other things I was hearing. And I was like, how does that even get communicated? Like it was clear what happened, you know what I mean? Like it was clear what took place and why we just had to call things off. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I thought, immediately I thought back like, man, they nailed it on that video. Like that is, within just a day, it was like, man, we're a bunch of alcoholic, crazy people here at Nova. And I'm like, all right, this is just, so just check this out. While it's funny to us, like to laugh at whatever, it's good. Listen, don't start fabricating things you don't know about, like, events that are taking place. If you don't know, don't say. Like, don't think, I heard, or I think this happened, or whatever. And even if you do know, you don't need to say. Like, a lot of times, things are just better left, like, you don't need to worry about it. Like, it's okay, everything's fine, nobody got drunk, and Doug's okay, I think. But anyway, like squash that, because that's what happens is when that stuff gets out of hand like that, you end up, people don't know. Like, we can say, oh no, that's not right, or we can even talk about it here, and you say, no, that's not correct. We can correct things. But now it's out there. Like now it's, people have an impression about you guys that like what we do here, is hypocrisy. Right? Like that's what ends up happening with that. So like, it's fun, it's hilarious, but guard yourselves from like just spreading stuff that you may or may not even know if it's true or not. That's the whole gossip train thing. Just squash it, and you don't even need to don't even talk about it. If you do hear something you know it's not, or you think it's not correct, then you can tell somebody to chill out with that stuff, right? Ridiculous. Funny, but on the other side of it, it's rough. So this next week is ESM. And I'm really pumped about that. I hope you guys are excited about the opportunities that you guys are going to be a part of. I know the timing of it is really rough for a guys basketball team, and so we're still trying to work out details with like what happens with those guys and what happens with everybody else. Side note, by the way, if my wife's in the back, my cute wife, she's back there. If the cheerleaders can just meet with her after chapel, just hook up with her and she's gonna talk to me about some options and things for you guys as well. But we're gonna be going out doing a bunch of stuff, and I love just to be able to spend this chapel right before, just to give you guys a challenge in order to how to seize the opportunities that are presented to you during ESM week. And so I've been reading this book. It's by Mark Batterson. He's a pastor at National Community Church in Washington D.C. And what I want you guys to do is I want you guys just to hear. I could take this and make my own and present it to you, but I think the way he presents, I'm not going to do it justice. So I just want to read this to you guys and kind of work through. He's actually taken a passage in 2 Samuel where it talks about David and his mighty men. And there's 3 or 4 guys that he specifically calls out. And most of the time, if you guys have read this, you guys probably passed over it. And he really clenches onto this one section of this passage. And I think it's brilliant, and it really fits what opportunities that we're going to have here this next week. So I want to just do this with you guys. Here's what I'd like you guys to do. I'd like you just to go ahead and close your eyes. Nothing weird's going to happen. It's okay, I promise you. Like, it's all good. But just, I want you to be able to visualize the story here. I want you to be able to hear this. And so I'm going to read this. There's an obscure passage in Scripture that I doubt any Sunday school teacher has ever assigned as a memory verse. It has absolutely no bearing on any major biblical doctrines. You may have read it in a few times in a one-year Bible study, but it probably didn't even make a blip on your radar screen. Buried in the Old Testament book of 2 Samuel, the 23rd chapter, the 20th and 21st verses is one of the most inconceivable and inspirational passages in Scripture. Here it is. There also was Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, a valiant warrior from Kabzeel. He did many heroic deeds, which included killing 2 of Moab's mightiest warriors. Another time he chased a lion down into a pit. Then, despite the snow and slippery ground, he caught the lion and killed it. Another time, armed only with a club, he killed a great Egyptian warrior who was armed with a spear. Benaiah wrenched the spear from the Egyptian's hand and killed him with it. It's easy to read verses like this in the comfortable confines of your home or office and totally miss the monumental acts of courage displayed by Benaiah. Have you ever met anyone or heard of anyone chasing a lion? Sure, Barnum and Bailey. They have lion tamers, but lion chasers? Benaiah didn't have a hunting rifle or a Land Rover, and this was no game park safari. Scripture doesn't tell us what Benaiah was doing or where he was going when he encountered this lion. We don't know the time of day or Benaiah's frame of mind, but Scripture does reveal his gut reaction, and it was gutsy. It ranks as one of the most improbable reactions recorded in Scripture. Usually when the image of a man-eating beast travels through the optical nerve and registers in the visual cortex, the brain has one overarching message: run away. Normal people run away from lions. They run as far and as fast as they possibly can. But lion chasers are wired differently. For the vast majority of us, the only lions we've encountered were stuffed or caged. And few of us have experienced hand-to-hand combat that forced us to fight for our lives. But try to put yourself in Benaiah's snow shoes. Out of the corner of his eye, Benaiah sees something crawling. I don't know how far away the lion is, and their vision is probably obscured by falling snow and frozen breath. But there is a moment when Benaiah and the lion lock eyes. Pupils dilate, muscles tense, adrenaline begins to rush. What a Hollywood moment. Imagine watching it on the movie screen with surround sound. Your knuckles turn white as you grip the theater seat. Blood pressure escalates, and the entire audience anticipates what will happen next. Lion encounters tend to script the same way. Man runs away like a scaredy cat, lion gives chase, and the king of the beasts eats manwich for lunch. But not this time. Almost as improbable as falling up, or the second hand on your watch moving counterclockwise, the lion turns tail and Benaiah gives chase. The camera films the chase at ground level. Lions can run up to 35 miles per hour and leap 30 feet in a single bound. Benaiah doesn't stand a chance. But that doesn't keep him from giving chase. Then the lion makes one critical misstep. The ground gives way beneath his 500-pound frame, and he falls down a steep embankment in a snow-laden pit. For what it's worth, I'm sure the lion landed on his feet. Lions are part of the cat genus, after all. No one is eating popcorn at this point. Eyes are fixed on the screen. It's the moment of truth as Benaiah approaches the pit. Almost like walking on thin ice, Benaiah measures every step. He inches up to the edge and peers into the pit. Menacing yellow eyes stare back. The entire audience is thinking the same thing. Don't even think about it. Have you ever had one of those moments where you do something crazy and you ask yourself in retrospect, what was I thinking? This had to be one of those moments for Benaiah. Who in their right mind chases lions? But Benaiah now has a moment to collect his thoughts, regain his sanity, and get a grip on reality. And the reality is this: normal people don't chase lions. So Benaiah turns around and walks away. The audience breathes a collective sigh of relief. But Benaiah isn't walking away. He's getting a running start. There's an audible gasp from the audience as Benaiah runs to the pit and takes a flying leap of faith. The camera pans out. You see two sets of tracks leading up to the pit's edge. One set of footprints, one set of paw prints. Benaiah and the lion disappear in the recesses of the pit. The view is obscured to keep it PG-13. And for a few critical moments, the audience is left with just the soundtrack. A deafening roar echoes in the cavernous pit. A blood-curdling battle cry pierces the soul. Then dead silence. Freeze frame. Everybody in the theater expects to see a lion shake its mane and strut out of the pit. But after a few agonizing moments of suspense, the shadow of a human form appears as Benaiah climbs out of his pit. The blood from his wounds drips in the freshly fallen snow. Claw marks crisscross his face and spear arm. But Benaiah wins one of the most improbable victories recorded in the passage of Scripture. Right at the outset, let me share one of my core convictions. God is in the business of strategically positioning us in the right place at the right time. A destiny or a sense of destiny is our birthright as followers of Christ. God is awfully good at getting us where he wants us to go. But here's the catch. The right place often seems like the wrong place. And the right time often seems like the wrong time. Can I understate the obvious? Encountering a lion in the wild is typically a bad thing, a really bad thing. Finding yourself in a pit with a lion on a snowy day generally qualifies as a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That combination of circumstances usually spells one thing: death. Now fast forward 2 verses and look at what happens in the next scene. 2 Samuel 23:23 says, "And David put Benaiah in charge of his bodyguard." I can't think of too many places I'd rather not be than in a pit with a lion on a snowy day, can you? Getting stuck in a pit with a lion on a snowy day isn't anybody's wish list. It's a death wish. But you gotta admit something. It looks pretty impressive on your resume if you're applying for a bodyguard position with the King of Israel. I can picture David flipping through a stack of resumes. I majored in security at the University of Jerusalem. Nope. I did an internship with the Palace Guard. I worked for Brink's Armored Chariots. Thanks, but no thanks. Then David comes to the next resume in the stack. I killed a lion in a pit on a snowy day. David didn't even check his references. That is the kind of person you want in charge of your bodyguard. Lion chasers make great bouncers. Most people would have seen the lion as a 500-pound problem, but not Benaiah. For most people, finding yourself in a pit with a lion on a snowy day would qualify as bad luck. But can you see how God turned what could have been considered a bad break into a big break? Benaiah lands a job interview with the King of Israel. I'm sure the bodyguard position was the last thing on his mind when he encountered the lion, but Benaiah wasn't just chasing a lion. Benaiah was chasing a position in David's administration. Here's the point. God is in the resume building business. He's always using past experiences to prepare us for future opportunities. But those God-given opportunities often come disguised as man-eating lions. And how we react when we encounter those lions will determine our destiny. We can cower in fear and run away from our greatest challenges, or we can chase our God-ordained destiny by seizing the God-ordained opportunity. What an awesome story. Something that's incredibly subtle as we look at Scripture and we see the things that typically stand out to us in terms of, what the Bible's about. But it's interesting to see how sometimes we can look at our circumstances, the things that we encounter on a daily basis, and we can see them as like, struggles or setbacks or whatever. And the way you react to that can mean all the difference in that becoming a God-ordained opportunity for Him to use that in the future for you. And so as I look at this week, I get excited about these opportunities, the things that you're going to encounter. And I know on some of these trips that you're going on, or some of the things that you're going to be engaging in, there are going to be some things that you're probably not super comfortable with trying right away. It may freak you out. There may be some things that you're not used to. And I want to challenge you with this. That you become a lion chaser. You seize those opportunities. You run after them and allow God to use those in your future. And it's incredible how every time I've talked to students who've gone on mission trips or have done something big, or they've taken the opportunity to do something, they've been able to look back in their life as they reflect like how God has worked in my life and say, man, God did something here. And it was because I stepped out and tried it that ended up making a huge impact on my life, and that God used that to be where I'm at now. So that's what I want to challenge you guys with over ESM as you're going and you have these opportunities. I know in Jamaica, for instance, we go to an infirmary, and it's a lot of older people, it's mentally handicapped people, and we literally go and like rub lotion on their arms and hands. Is Nick here? Right? It was freaked. I was freaked out the first time. Right? It's weird. It's uncomfortable. We're not used to doing that stuff. And but we jumped into it. And I will tell you, of all the things that we did in Jamaica, that was the most impactful. And I know in Nicaragua, you guys are going to be going into some. You guys go to the what's the House of Hope? What is it? Bradley's House of Hope, right? And if it's your first time, it's probably going to be uncomfortable for you. It's going to be, you're going to have to get out of your shell and look at those opportunities for you to be able to just engage. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Just run at it. New York, you guys have pretty intense street ministry there. And going out and sharing your faith with complete strangers in New York is not what you do on a regular basis, right? It can be scary. Seize the opportunity. Some of you students are going to be going, doing some things locally, and you're going to have opportunities where you may see someone in your group that just needs to be encouraged. And there's this weird thing that we have sometimes, if we don't know someone, it's kind of hard to reach out and help or whatever. Seize the opportunity, and you'd be surprised at how God uses that in your life. Don't run away from it. Run towards it. I'm going to go ahead and invite praise band. We've got Madeline Webb and C. Grace. We're going to do an acoustic set here. And you guys just stay seated. We're going to do a little time of worship. And then we're going to kind of break up into our ESM groups and have a time of prayer and just kind of touch base one last time. In a little bit, I'll show you guys. We kind of laid out some places for you to be, so I'll show you where that is in a little bit after some worship. But I want to challenge you guys. Be lion chasers, right? Seize the opportunities that are in front of you and allow God to use those in your life to do something big.
Opportunity to have chapel, to have ESM week, that we can take a whole week off school just to serve you and learn about you in various aspects of our lives. We thank you that you put us in exactly the right places at exactly the right moments, because you take care of us really well. And sometimes we don't always see it, but your plan is much bigger than ours. I pray that you would be with us the rest of the school day and all during ESM. We love you very much.
All right, we're going to get an opportunity for you guys to get with your ESM groups.